Last time on Sexy Dice Funk.
Well, that's in the recording now.
Yeah.
A slow rising sound starts to soak the air around you, like a low, deep torrent of rain falling, but never hitting any ground. The crowd of people surges into the grounds, and kind of like immediately they just start like ransacking the place.
Yeah.
That there are some pretty hostile letters that appear to have been sent back and forth from the Lord of Akamoros. But more suspiciously than that, across the distance between the house to the gate, you see a ladder propped up against a pillar, and two figures dressed in Akamorian army gear making their way over the top of the pillar and disappearing down the other side. You open it completely, get a look inside. There is a pile of about 20 bodies. That you're not even sure that the rumbling is actually coming from outside your head. You're following the trail through the city. It seems to be leading back in the direction where you originally first came from, the quarry. And I hate to tell you, boys, but there's another plume of smoke. Hi, everybody, and welcome to an episode of Dice Funk After Dark. That's the Dice Funk where we get together at around 2 o'clock in the morning and record because everybody's schedules are fucked up. So we're kind of in a hurry this week because we don't have a whole lot of time. We had to cram this in. It's not going to be a full hour an episode. I apologize for that in advance, but we're just going to go ahead and dive right in. So as I recall, you guys were tracking down the mysterious absconding soldiers from the mansion.
Yeah.
And it was leading you in the direction of the quarry, I believe, right?
Wherever they are, we're following them.
Well, no, I recognize that, but I told you that it was leading you in the direction of the quarry, and also that there was a new plume of smoke coming from that direction, is that right?
There's always new plumes.
What was their absconsion check? Because I think I beat it with 25, so they tried to abscond, but...
No, they did abscond. They have absconded. Their absconce is done. You guys were well behind them. It's just that you are aware of the direction in which they absconded. Just because you roll a massive survivalism check doesn't mean you turn around the corner and you're like, oh, it's you guys. And they're like, damn it.
I like conjugating abscond. Abscond arse. It was good.
If they were pop stars, they would be Absconcé.
Yeah, they would.
That's my contribution.
So, okay, one more thing before Johnny starts with this opening flavor thing. At the very, very last thing before the credits last week was Johnny saying, next week, Jess. Anyone wanna?
Jess couldn't make it, and we're really sorry. She'll be back hopefully next week. There are things, and, our lives are, lives. And that's it.
Maybe we'll find Alana's body and then...
No, we will not. No, I'm sure she's fine. So let's do the thing.
Okay. So you continue following the tracks throughout the city, and perhaps you suspected, at least anyways, it leads you to the courtyard sitting outside of the quarry. And having arrived there, you can see that this new plume of smoke, which is slightly less impressive than the other ones, which are intensely darkening the sky around the city behind you.
This is some amateur fire. They didn't put their heart into this one.
It issues from inside the closed and chained gates that lead into the quarry. There's little to no activity here in the courtyard in a distinctly unpleasant way, but beyond the gate, dull moaning and the echoes of screams from far away call out to you. Not being able to see through the gate, only the smoke, the whimpers, and the smell of burning meat give you any clue as to what's on the other side.
Meat.
Oh man.
I'm sorry. Where? I'm sorry. I'm tired. Where am I exactly? What's in front of my face?
You're in the you're basically where you left Alana. You're at the courtyard where the entry to the quarry is held.
Okay. Who's in front of me? Like, what are the peoples?
You don't see anybody.
It's all screaming from beyond the gate, apparently, and it's chained.
The screaming that you hear sounds like it's past the gate. It's kind of far away though. Like it's not like.
I'm sorry. Where is this gate? I thought you said I was at the quarry. I'm confused.
Yeah, you are. There's a gate that leads into the quarry. They don't just let people walk in and out. You know.
Okay. All right. I walk up. Like I can barely think straight right now. So like all my bad decisions are going to be more so. So what Rinaldo, I want to ask Alana what happened, but I feel like that would be better for next time.
She's not there. You don't see Alana.
Oh, she's not there. Good.
You don't see Alana anywhere.
Understood. So Rinaldo walks up to the gate and tries to see what's going on.
I mean, it's chained. Do you want me to try to melt the chains or something?
I don't know. I just look. Make a decision, and Rinaldo's walking up to the gate. He's confused and he's tired.
See, this is a good storytelling opportunity because Leon is losing consciousness and Rinaldo hasn't slept in like 2 days. Also, he was tortured brutally.
Right. Rinaldo's been through the ringer, so we can play this out now. Like, through,
This is what you call method role-playing.
Yeah. I'm having a Stanislavski moment. Okay, so, what does Rinaldo see/hear at the gate?
Well, you can't see through the gate. The gate is comprised of basically solid iron slats, presumably put across a slightly more stable structure. But coming closer to the gate, you can hear that a lot of the low moaning is like right on the other side.
Oh man, it's the quarry full of zombies.
The more panicked noises are from farther away.
Rinaldo says, "Who's in there?"
Yeah, you hear people again like breathing laboriously. You hear a couple people call for help.
Okay.
Except not really call, more kind of like croak for help.
Can Rinaldo hear Alana?
Roll a perception check.
I'm gonna.
Johnny, if the quarry is filled with zombies, I'm going to be very upset with you.
8. I got an 8.
You cannot hear Alana.
Okay. Rinaldo like sort of like lumbers and like waddles over to Anne and says, "What were we supposed to be doing here again?"
We were chasing those 2 guys who ran away from the mansion.
Yeah.
Which incidentally, Austin, you have lost the trail of. Because all the boot marks that you've been following are now matched by a heck of a lot more boot marks that are the same.
Should we go in then?
How?
I mean, I could try to melt the chain with sacred flame.
Well, fire has gotten us this far.
I mean, why stop now? So yeah, I guess I'm gonna take the chain in hand and just blast it with sacred flame and see if it like melts a little. I just need to get it damaged enough.
Mm-hmm.
Don't need to incinerate it, so let's try that. Do you want to make this saving throw on behalf of the chain? It's 14 DC.
I guess so.
I love how Austin's like looking up the stats for the dungeon master.
You got a hot chain, but from the evidence here, it's it's a pretty flimsy chain. So you get the impression that with a little concentration, a little know-how, maybe some elbow grease.
The chain rolled 16 for the audience.
Yeah, the chain's baller. The chain knows what's going on.
It didn't really help. I just warmed it up for you. You want to take the maybe fire poker and try to break it?
Rinaldo kind of like wanders over there and is like, "This may as well happen." Alright, what am I rolling?
Attacks, I guess.
Yeah, I know, but what is my poker?
Is just proficiency plus strength, so should be the same as your mace.
8. It's not good. It's not good at all.
He just like limply like swats at
He's
it.
tired.
Yeah. It was kind of a one-handed.
And looks at you in your very sleepy display and says, do you want to try it tomorrow, or...
Rinaldo looks like he's struggling, and he says, "Can you butt touch me real quick?"
Always. 4.
So plus 10 to this roll. I'm going to try one more time. Rinaldo's summoning all his manly courage to hit 14.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, you hit it in an amazing feat of strength and heroics, and it smashes to 1,000,000 pieces, and all of its chain relatives and chain friends, are really, really sad, but they're like, that was really impressive. We've never seen a man break one of us like that.
Rinaldo drops the poker. He's just done with it, and then he tries to get the gate open.
Okay. Upon leaving the Creaky gate open, almost immediately, all the moaning that you hear stops.
Oh god, come on.
Okay.
And what you are confronted with is about 24 deeply charred corpses. Like, we're talking some of them burned down to the bone.
Pockets.
No, hold on. No. Oh my god.
No, Rinaldo's checking their pockets.
Oh, well, okay. I guess that's happening.
They are all dressed in Stone Root city garb.
Yes.
No!
Alright, two things. Rinaldo checks their pockets, and Rinaldo looks for Silas.
Yes.
And by the way, in that order.
Okay. In the pockets, you find what are, I guess, Dungeons and Dragons equivalents of sort of like dog tags. You find like badges and, official writs of like...
I steal a badge.
Johnny.
Yeah.
Dragon tags.
Dragon tags? Is that what they're called?
They'd have to be.
I guess that's what they're being called now.
I'm taking one of the guard badges for myself.
All right, you're taking a badge.
Does it have a name on it, or is it just like a rudiment? Are they all just the regular same badge?
It has an initial and a last name on it.
What is it? I want to know.
It is J. Tombrello.
Got it.
We didn't ask Silas's last name, did we?
Yeah, well, it's not. It's
not Jay.
It's not Jay. I know who that is. All right.
Okay. Can I do medicine checks to see if I can detect anything about them besides the fact that they are burned?
Yeah, of course.
17.
All right. What do you want to know?
If it looks like the fire was the only thing that killed them, are they still were they recently moaning?
It is your professional opinion as someone who plays a doctor on a podcast that there is no way that any of these corpses could have been verbally communicating in like at least the last hour.
Since Ronaldo's checking tags, does he find Silas?
He does not.
Good. All right.
But they all seemed like they were killed by fire and like immediately, like one blast.
There was there's a smell on the bodies as well. You kind of get the impression that the nature of the fire was not supernatural. That it was chemically set. So there's an odor to the burns in the bodies. Another thing about them is that your knowledge of burned bodies.
My knowledge of burned bodies
is extensive.
As a cleric, you've seen many burns over the course of your life. As a cleric who likes to burn people and set fire to things, you've seen way more burns than your average cleric. But one of the things that you're familiar with that happens when people are burned badly is that, like, plasma and fluids have a tendency to seep to the surface. But every one of these bodies, despite the fact that visually speaking, it has been very badly burned, they are all bone dry. And another thing that you notice is that light rust-colored mud that you saw earlier at the church. for the victims of the quarry accident, quote-unquote accident, yeah, that is on most of the bodies.
Do you think that this was the same thing that when the rebellion attacked the quarry before with the chemical bombs that we were sent to look for?
Rinaldo walks over to Anne, puts one hand on her shoulder, and says, "Anne, what we've got here is an SCP."
I don't know what that means.
Oh, it means somebody else's problem. And then he leaves.
Oh wait, are we leaving the quarry or are we going deeper?
You can do whatever you want. Rinaldo's done, and he's tired.
You still hear screaming coming from within the tunnels of the quarry.
Oh, God, I didn't know that. You didn't say that.
No, I'm sorry. I said the low moaning stopped. I should have said that you can still hear screaming in the distance from deep in the quarry.
Perception check to tell if Rinaldo can hear Silas or Adelana.
That's a good character moment, though. Like, Rinaldo turns around, he's like, "Not our problem," and starts to walk away, and then he hears some screams, and he stops, and he's like, "Come on."
All right, 18 for my perception to tell if Rinaldo can hear anyone familiar in the screams.
It's a little difficult for you to tell, because the screams are coming from pretty strained voices, and not only that, they're affected by the echoes of the tunnels. So there's nothing distinct that you can hear that reminds you of or that catches your memory of Silas's voice or Alana's.
We can walk away now, but if you want to save Silas, I feel like we probably should go in. We have to go in deeper now.
Rinaldo looks like he's wrestling with this, and then he kind of screws up his courage and says, "Okay, let's go."
All right, what's what we're gonna do? We're gonna do our very damnedest to go back to where we lost Jane, I think. Unless we run into something before then.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the direction we're heading, at least.
I guess. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. As you move deeper into the quarry, the noise in your ears has a tendency to get louder, more intensely, and quicker than it did before.
This is upsetting. This is like turning into Silent Hill.
And moving away from the gate, you encounter what I can only describe as being several trails of bodies. Insofar as that, you find a body here, you find a body there, you see bodies leading down other paths. They are almost, they are all of them dressed, not almost, they are all of them dressed in Stone Root City Guard uniform.
Pockets.
I feel like one upside is we'll have a run of the place once this is over, because there's nobody left.
There's also probably no getting any more buildings left. Seriously, Rinaldo checks their pockets.
You're checking pockets?
Yeah, if it's just a bunch of badges, it doesn't matter. But if there's valuables,
no, you're finding pretty standard. You're finding pretty standard inventory for the guards to be carrying on duty.
What about weapons? I mean, they were all armed, right?
Yeah, there were long swords. If you're interested in a nice long sword.
Oh wait, is it a long sword one of those weapons I have to hold with two hands?
No, you can one hand, but you can't dual wield.
No, that's not what I want. Okay.
Yeah, you have to take a feat to do that.
Can you not wield a long sword and another weapon in the other hand?
That's what I'm asking.
You can only dual wield weapons that are designated light unless you take the dual wielding feat.
Okay.
Level 4.
Right.
I did not do. Okay, that's fine. Then Ronaldo just keeps going and towards the screaming.
All right. You get down into the quarry, and I mean, the screaming is kind of coming from everywhere. The echoes seem to be playing tricks with you. It doesn't help either that you keep hearing this rumbling in your ears that's drowning out, not a lot of everything, but a lot of background noise. It kind of feels like it's coming from everywhere at once to you, honestly. But you do hear screaming, panicked voices, raised voices that seem like they're talking to each other at high pitch or yelling at each other, because you hear a cadence of speech that sounds like words.
Okay, Ronaldo's just gonna try to communicate. He's gonna yell Silas. Actually, Ronaldo said yell Silas, and then he tells Anne, use your boom voice to yell Silas.
Here comes the boom.
Right.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna thaumaturgy some Silas.
All right.
What's the worst that could happen?
Cave in.
You take your deepest breath, you yell out, Silas! And for a moment, you get no response. And then, the ground starts to shake.
Great.
Well, look, we've committed to this now.
Yeah.
It was a good campaign.
As you're moving through the tunnels in the quarry too, you're finding that the bodies that you're encountering are not as badly burned.
So the explosion was out there. Oh, I guess I'm also going to call for Alana, because I assume this is where she ended up.
By the way, as Rinaldo passes by the corpses, he's like sort of like glancing over them to make sure they're nobody he knows.
We don't know too many people in this town.
I know. I'm just saying, if it's Alana or Silas or like anyone, he's just checking.
And for the record, like when you're looting people, like Anne is like doing some Avandra equivalents of like signs of the cross or something. She's not just like whistling.
This is neat. Okay, you're not finding Silas. That much is clear. And you're working your way, I'm sure, like down to the bottom of the quarry. That's where you're headed.
Yeah, I mean, we're basically going as far down as we can, like towards the screams.
Okay, all right. So you finally get to the bottom of the pit of the quarry, and you find two bodies face down that are not dressed in Stone Root Guard uniform.
Shit.
So they're face down, which means they could be trap cards. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the rules of Yu-Gi-Oh, but
I am not. And neither is Rinaldo, so he doesn't think of that.
Yu-Gi-Oh check.
You can see from from where you are at the very least that one of them is male and one of them is female.
All right, Rinaldo checks the male.
All right. You roll him over and you don't know him.
Okay.
He's a pretty rough and tumble sort of guy. He's got a couple of scars. He's dressed in leathers.
But it's one of Tamsin's guys, maybe.
Maybe. I guess medicine check to see like what I can see about what's going on with his sitch. 15.
Okay. By examining the body, you are absolutely clear that he has endured a long fall, but moreover than that, he's actually also had a knife wound in him, like a mortal knife wound. It looks like in the back as well.
Wait, so is the guy dead?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I check him for ID or something.
He's got no ID, but you do find 10 gold pieces.
Nice. I'm adding it to my thing.
See, I was going to make a really good rap joke because there's a guy named No ID, but neither of you would have got it.
Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about. I check the woman.
All right. You roll the woman over, get a look at her face, and you're not sure, but it's either Emma or Tamsin.
Oh, shit. Is she dead?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I check her for ID.
A perception check, I think, to see if I can spot any differences.
Yeah, there was like a hair difference, but Rinaldo probably doesn't remember, and I don't either.
15 again.
When you say difference, you mean like differences between the twins?
Yeah.
All right. You're pretty sure from examining the style of the hair that it's Tamsin.
Oh man, I didn't get to kill her.
Rinaldo doesn't know what's going on, so he asks Anne, "Who is it?"
Oh, this is Tamsin. Look at her sweet do. She done got her hair did, dog.
Wait. We killed one of our principal antagonists?
We is a bit strong.
Look, the important thing is I'm going to loot her. And then I do.
That's the important thing.
And then I do.
Okay. You find a set of lockpicks.
Nice.
You find 2 really nice daggers.
Okay.
Like, really nice daggers.
I'm gonna write 2 really nice daggers.
Like, you think there might be something special about these daggers.
2 special daggers.
2 dank daggers.
Rinaldo says, "Hey, Anne, you know daggers. How special are these daggers?" Can Anne detect magic?
Yeah, I can just cast detect magic.
Do it.
All right, so I do that. Are they glowing or are they just real dank?
I'm sorry. I keep forgetting like that the magic weapons or the nice weapon rules in D&D 5th edition changed. Because you don't just get like +1s anymore or something like that. You know, you can't just be like, "Ooh, it's a dagger +1." Like, it's...
Actually, what it says is basically that's a lot rarer because of bounded accuracy. Like, a +1 is kind of a bigger deal, but it's still a thing if you want it to be.
Okay, then yeah, they're glowing.
Oh, okay. Ronaldo says we should probably get these inspected, maybe by Danyan. He probably knows, like, magic mystical stuff, right?
Probably.
I also, I need to correct myself as well. Sorry, I said that the guy was stabbed in the kidney or something like that. No, he's stabbed in the throat.
Okay.
I'm just checking my notes here because I'm rolling around on pages here like, I don't know, somebody's coated me in molasses and I'm trying to get a feather coat.
Okay.
You're rolling around at the speed of sound. We got you.
Damn straight. So he was stabbed in the throat, yeah.
Okay. Ronaldo takes out a piece of paper and, like, makes, like, a strike across one and puts it in his pocket.
Okay.
All right.
But you have 2 dank daggers. Can he... Okay, so if he stabs someone, we'll do +1, or do we have to have them identified first? It's up to you, basically. There's different rules.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if he stabs someone, then we'll discuss what they do.
Okay.
Ronaldo isn't planning on stabbing anyone at the moment. So for now, he's just pocketing the daggers.
I'm just saying. Do you want to inspect Tamsin's body as well, or?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's going through her.
He's going through her.
He's checking everything that he can check.
24.
Okay. So the thing that stands out to you immediately is that, unlike the guy, Tamsin appeared to get into some kind of fight beforehand. There are fresh wounds on her body. None of them necessarily fatal. One of them looks bad, though. Like, one of them looks like if she hadn't hit the bottom of the quarry. Presumably. Again, lots of broken bones and some general symptoms of having taken a fatal fall. That this wound may have killed her within, like, hours. Something that you notice about both bodies, though, again,
Yep.
is that blood near the wounds, very scarce.
Okay.
Light rust-colored mud.
Does Ronaldo hear any more screaming, or is this like the end?
You're still hearing screaming coming from the tunnels and whatnot, but it now that you're at the bottom of the quarry, it honestly doesn't sound to you yourself like you're getting any closer to it. And if you're tallying up the number of bodies that you've come across, including the ones at the front now, you're getting close to like the high 70s.
Holy Christ.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know what the Stone Rotten were planning, but it seems like it didn't work out.
Yep. Ronaldo. All right. Look, Ronaldo's really concerned about Silas, so he wants to keep searching. So can I keep doing that?
Yeah, if you like.
That was not a good DM voice.
No. So, but that's the only reason he's there. So Ronaldo just keeps going towards screaming.
You keep finding dead bodies. Each of them burned. None of the guards' bodies have any, like, open wounds on them. Any open knife wounds or battle wounds, you might describe. It's all just fire, for the most part. Some of them, it even occurs to you as being unusually strange that they're dead. Like, you're not sure why or how some of these guards wound up dead, because some of their burns, some of the guys are like the guys you discovered up near the gate, obviously dead because of fire. But some of the guys that you're finding in the quarry tunnels and things like that, it's kind of puzzling to you why they should be dead, because some of them are showing up with pretty superficial burns.
Okay, but Rinaldo doesn't see Silas at all in here.
You're not finding Silas.
This is our CSI episode.
Rinaldo says, look, Silas isn't here. As far as I can tell, Alana isn't here either. We've got one dead main character, and some new daggers. Let's go back to the church and get some sleep.
If you think that's best.
I do. All
right.
In fact. All right, Rinaldo sort of like hoofs it out of there.
I mean, Aunt can see that you're hurting. She's going to give you some guidance.
Okay.
Now you have a +4.
Nice.
In case we get jumped or something, he said, side-eyeing Johnny.
It's entirely possible. All right, but Rinaldo, like, at a more hurried pace, tries to get out of the quarry.
All right. As you begin to leave the quarry,
Yup.
the rumbling in your ears mellows a little bit. Not quite to the level that it was when you first arrived. Still a little bit louder than when you first arrived. I shouldn't say louder, but like more prominent. Like I said, you can still hear things going around you, but it just kind of like alters background noise. But it does calm a little bit by the time you get to the gates. And as you stride outside the gates into the courtyard, you see a lone man dressed pretty much in beggar's rags, standing, staring at the quarry with a horrified look on his eyes.
Boss fight, boss fight, boss fight.
Right, hang on. Do we recognize him?
You do not recognize him, no.
Okay.
But he whispers very quietly, I saw it.
What did you see?
I saw everything.
Elaborate.
Exposit.
After you talk, he looks at you with a suspicious expression and says, "You're one of them, aren't you?"
I'm one of a lot of people, but what do you mean?
Whoa. Is it getting racial up in here? What are you talking about? Because I'm a halfling? One of those people?
No, not you, Austin. He says it to Leon.
All right, Rinaldo says, what are you talking about?
He says, you're the same of them soldiers.
Spanishy, I think, is what he means.
Yeah, okay. Wait, well, what happened? Look, I just got here, and I didn't steal anything. So
that was a suspiciously specific denial.
So what happened here?
We're looking for our friends.
I'll tell you what I saw.
Do it.
If you give me 10 gold.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
And throws 10 gold at him.
Oh, okay. Rinaldo's it looks like he's fine with that.
Like a pitcher.
So, like, you have, like, an extra throwing purse around or something like that?
No, I just dig into the bag and I Cy Young that bitch at him.
Okay. All right. So he starts scrambling around, picking up the gold, as it bounces off of him and hits the pavement. And he tells you a story about how he was sleeping off a potent bottle of wine in the alley off to the side when some loud crashing and explosive noises woke him up. He crawled to the edge of the alley and looked outside and saw a group of, he describes them, a lot of foreign soldiers throwing bombs over top of a locked gate.
Damn.
Having surrounded what were about a dozen soldiers of Stoneroot City Guard and the Lord Erlin, whom he describes as being wounded badly and not looking too good.
Where did he go? Rinaldo immediately interrupts him and says, "Where did Lord Erlin go?"
He says, them soldiers rounded up everybody in the square and took him out to the sanitarium, I think she said.
It's starting to sound to me like this rebellion is actually an invasion.
Yeah. Rinaldo kind of scratches his chin and says, "Man, we don't fuck around in Akamoros."
We straight thuggin'.
All right. Rinaldo says, "Where's the sanitarium?"
The beggar looks at the 10 gold in his hand.
Oh my god.
Looks back up at you guys.
I walk over and I look him in the eye and I very deliberately empty my entire purse onto the ground in front of him.
He gives you very specific directions to get to the sanitarium.
Great. Rinaldo hasn't lost a dime. This is great. Rinaldo, but he knows exactly where the sanitarium is now.
Exactly, yeah.
Rinaldo kind of like kicks one of the gold pieces away from him, and then he leaves.
Wait, as we leave, I yell back, "What was your name?"
He says, "Doesn't matter to you. I'm leaving town."
Thanks, convenient NPC. he hops into a waiting car, speeds off.
He flags down one of those party buses and then just gets on board, and you never see him again.
I'm gonna be really mad if it turned out it was important that we know who that was.
Okay. Are you making your way to the sanitarium?
Yeah.
So much for naps.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna set the scene, and then I guess we'll call it a night.
Wait, Rinaldo. God, hold on. Rinaldo's tired, and I don't just mean because I am. I mean Rinaldo is tired, and he doesn't have his full strength. So Rinaldo turns to Anne and says, "Look, we're at half mast here. So
speak for yourself."
So we need to go back to the church, get some sleep, and then maybe plan to raid the sanitarium or at least scope it out in the morning. Actually, and then Rinaldo starts to think about what is our quest again? And then he says, "You know what? I'll figure it out in the morning."
For brevity's sake, we're just trying to save Silas and Alana right now, right?
Yeah, I mean that's the main thing. But Rinaldo he's kind of he's half done right now, so he goes back to the church to sleep. That's actually what he wants to do.
Okay, you're gonna head back to the church to sleep?
Well, that's what Rinaldo is. Usually Anne follows, but it's up to Austin.
All right, I guess Rinaldo just straight up walks away from Anne.
No, I mean he tells.
He's like, "I'm going to bed."
Anne will follow because that's her personality. But I mean, what time is it? We only need 8 hours to get the in-game benefits, so we can set an alarm.
All right, that's the plan.
like a Flintstones bird alarm.
We have to. I want to go back to the place and ask Daniel if he knows about the daggers anyway. But that's when I wake up.
At this point in time, it's probably around, I would say, 3:30 in the morning.
I'm sleeping through the night.
When you guys left the quarry, when you left Alana at the quarry, it was midnight.
Okay.
And then you traveled to the mansion, did your thing there, traveled back to the quarry. Travel time, you searched around. So yeah, at 3:30, we'll say.
All right, so we go back to the church, I guess. I feel bad about leaving them, but there's not much we can do mechanically unless we're gonna start getting exhausted and we're gonna not have any spell slots, and it's gonna be a bad scene.
All right, so you make your way back to the church. By the time you get there, it's a little after 4. You're getting better at traveling around the city, and there's still a pile of burnt furniture and church accoutrements sitting outside. But it looks like the door is open and religion's back in business, baby.
Okay, so they've picked up the pieces a little bit.
Yeah.
Do I see Danyan?
Yeah, you can spot Danyan out. He's kind of, rearranging things and trying to go over some of the damage of stuff that he thinks is salvageable.
That boy has a work ethic.
Rinaldo says, "Yo, Onion, check out these daggers. Tell me if they're magic, and tell me when I wake up." And then Rinaldo just kind of wanders into a room and falls asleep on a cot.
He just wanders off and lands on a pew.
He's done with this shit.
Next time on Sexy Dice Funk.
The giant spider turns, its eyes sparkling, and its mandible glistens, and it says, "So, you guys come here often?"
I can't believe it turned out Marshmallow was an Akamorian spy the entire time.
Rinaldo finds the drunken hobo, beats him, and steals all the gold.
For the record, I only had 8 gold left. So, I mean, that is a lot, but also, I made it sound like more, maybe.
He was thinking about maybe asking for like 1 or 2 more pieces, so you made it rain, son.
As always, our theme song is A Fistful of Nickels, the overclocked remix arrangement of a Shadows theme from Final Fantasy VI. Executive producers for March 2016 are Joseph Timbrello, Ingmar Gremmen, The Cult of Gorfanax, Michael Goodell, Wayne Witzke, Brent, Jason, Dash Shawn the Rage Monster, Carl Kurtz, Eric Kimball, Harrison Andrew, Luke Powers, Phoenix Mod, Jade, Tarka, Jorit, Viger Arnston, Anna Stuhlfarer, Giorgio Renna, Christopher Charlo, Cody Jackson, August Rue, and Taylor Hoyt. If you want to support the show, there are a number of ways to get the word out, whether you comment on Channel Awesome, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Podbean, or rate us on iTunes. If you want to help more directly, you can find Leon at patreon.com/renegadecut. You can find Jess at patreon.com/ravenalegria13. And you can find me at patreon.com/Austin Yorsky. If you want to support Johnny, you can buy him an HTC Vive. Please, someone, for the love of God.